I got here in 2016, I started looking at how awful I thought that Republican politicians were, and I started looking at, like, I was going to vote for Trump because I'm Republican, and I started looking at this going like, this is really bad. And I just decided for the next 4 years I was just going to observe and watch everything. And in 2020, early 2020, meant, and for the first time I understood what it meant, and I felt like that all just really, it was kind of like from where I'd been, my process of realizing we're all different, and then getting to 2020 and realizing, really having my eyes open, and then seeing like every single Christian person I knew, except for maybe one, was like very much opposed to, we were a very divided country, and they were all on this side. And that's when I started having my eyes really, really open to, I guess, the other. I don't know how to quite answer that. But
Last question. What would you say to help people with the ability of holding multiple voices?
I'll just keep this really short. It's a couple, there's a therapist once told me, when you recognize that you are being triggered, follow the AIM response. A stands for assess or acknowledge that you're triggered. I is identify the cause. And M is do mindfulness to work yourself through it. Whenever we hear a voice that's different than ours, it is very natural and normal to feel attacked. It's normal to want to be defensive of yourself because that's human nature. We come from a tribalistic world, which means if someone holds a different value, they can harm your community. We don't have to worry about that anymore. And so it's going to take a while for our race to evolve. And so in the meantime, you're going to say things or you're going to believe things that are going to harm people. That's normal, that's natural, and that's okay. It's not okay. What is okay is you can apologize. You can apologize, or dare I say repent, which means to make a complete 180 turn and go in the opposite direction, which means listen to the other person. Understand that you hurt them. Understand that maybe your belief was harmful, and turn away from them. It's honestly not that hard, and it is also very hard because it goes against everything that is inherent in us. And so, again, you see that door, open it up. Don't run away from it. Open it up and do your best. Have tons of good, safe community. That also might mean finding new community because if you don't have friends that are going to help you out with that journey, they're part of the problem. And if you call them out and they don't respond to it, they're not going to, and it's not your job to continue to do so. So do what you can to make sure that you are a good and safe person for other people. And when you harm, because that's going to inevitably happen, apologize and repair the relationship.
You said everything.
Sorry.
It was so good. I'll have to do it next.
For me, I'm not quite sure if this is answering the question, but ally. And I realized, Donna helped me realize my impact wasn't the same as us, straight, conservative Christian. My old response would have been to defend myself and say why I'm right. And my new response was and ally. She's still hurting people. I'm just a new space where I should be practicing that. And this is you're doing the right thing.
Thank you, Kim. And similar to both of your stories, I think I was once a Christian that felt a lot of authority other people's lives and critical of like how Christ-like they're being or how Christ-like they should be. And so I think like calling yourself out and taking a step back is really important. And also boundaries. I was once someone who I think churches a lot of times like you always need to repent or like divulge absolutely everything that you're feeling, absolutely everything wrong that you've done. And so in so many relationships I feel like I have to do that. Like I have to like tell them everything, I have to overshare. And so that's something that I'm working on, and just boundaries are really important. Calling yourself out and moving forward in that and having grace for yourself is really important. It's it's easy to be critical, and just showing that love back.
I'm gonna close it out with this Instagram post. It's by the angry therapist. I found it because a therapist friend of mine reposted it, and I was like, oh, I love it. That's perfect. And Dawn is gonna come up and pray for us after this. It says, holding space needs to be with someone without judgment. To donate your ears and heart without wanting anything back. To practice empathy and compassion. To accept someone's truth no matter what they are. To allow and accept. Embrace with two hands instead of pointing with one finger. To come in neutral, open, for them, not you. Holding space means to put your needs and opinions aside and allow someone to just be herself.
Thank you so much. Wow. Can we give another hand for our speakers today? I got emotional. I mean, it was just so powerful. So I know that we took a moment to just run of Springs headquarters. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pray for us, and then we'll open it up to communion. I might have to switch mics because, actually, what do you think, Stephen? Do I do communion and then
whatever you want to do.
Okay. I'll do communion, it'll be awkward silence, and then Stephen and Alicia will come back up. But let's pray. Let's bow our heads. Actually, you don't need to close your eyes, by the way. You can if you want. God, thank you so much for this time. We just lift up the lives lost at Club Q in Colorado Springs. Although we don't know the details, I think a lot of us know the details. I ask you to just be with each and every one of us as we enter the holiday season, specifically with Thanksgiving. I ask you to just be with each and every one of us, and just be with us as we navigate maybe some heavy emotions, some heavy relationships, some family dynamics that are difficult. Or also, that you will just be with us as we experience joy and traditions and laughter and food. God, I just ask you to be with each and every one of us here. Will you remind each and every one of us here that we have an important voice in this church, that each and every one of us has and reflects your image. God, thank you so much for this time. In your name, amen. So Janet is coming around with some communion cups. If you did not get one at the beginning, you can get some now. And my communion is all the way over there. That's fun. Okay. Daniel, can you give me the communion?
I was like, I know I'm going to get asked.
We'll get communion right one of these days. Thank you so much. I'm not going to be breaking the bread just because I only have two hands. So, some of us have called this table communion, the Eucharist, or the Mass. All are welcome to the table here at SHOC, and we meet everyone, if you identify as a Christian or not, if you're queer or not, if you're a woman or not, or a child even. Part of centering Jesus is centering those who often don't get to partake in the fullness of this table. And so everyone is welcome. So Jesus, on the night he was betrayed, he took the bread, pretend I'm taking the bread. And when he gave thanks, he broke it and said, "This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And in the same way, after supper, he took the cup, pretend I'm holding the cup, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this whenever you drink it in remembrance of me." So Stephen and Alicia are going to come up now. I'm going to not drop the mic, but with others during communion.
on proud, come on greedy, come on liars, come on shame, come on wealthy, come receive to the table, come today. Come on broken, come on needy, come on poor and those enslaved, come on rulers, come be seated, come on sinners, come on saints. Come to the table, come here and far. Come from the shadows, come out of the dark. There's room at the table. We saved you a seat. Come to the banquet. Come join in the feast. Every race, every nation, come on, brothers, come on, Gabe. From the fringes, come to Jesus, to a table full of grace. To the table, always stay. Come to the table. See one last time, come be whole, come be loved. Come be whole, come be loved, come be accepted, come now, come. Blessed are the ones who do not bury. Blessed are the ones who do not bury. All broken pieces of their hearts. Blessed are the tears of all the weary, born like a sky of falling stars. And blessed are the wounded ones and lonely, brave enough to show the Lord their scars. Blessed are the hurts that are not hidden, open to the healing touch of God. The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in our God. Keep your eyes on Him.
Blessed are the ones who walk in kindness, reach across the bottomless waters. Blessed are the deeds that go unnoticed, serving with unguarded gratitude. Blessed are the ones who follow justice, longing for the comfort of peace. Blessed is the soul that does righteousness, welcoming the last the lost things.
The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in our God. Keep your eyes on Him. Blessed are the ones. Blessed are the ones who suffer violence and still unwilling to love their enemies. And blessed is the faith of those who worship you. Holy God, now destiny, the kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in our God. Keep your eyes on Him. The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. And hope is in our God. Keep your eyes on Him. The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in our God. Keep your eyes on Him.
you so much, Stephen and Alicia. We are so, there's so much gratitude to be had. We have such an amazing worship crew. I mean, it's so amazing. It's so fun to see different voices up here, even in worship every week, which is so cool. Before we end today, I'm going to do some announcements. Real quick, we do more services. So we were meeting once a month until our launch day on November 6th, and now we meet twice a month. So our next one will actually be December 4th, and our goal with this, with just meeting twice instead of 4 or 5 times, is to practice rest for our volunteers, our worship crew, our preachers, and even just everyone here, so that on a Sunday you can sleep in even more, you can go on a hike. And we're just going to try this out for at least 6 months and see how that goes. If we find our group needs services more than twice, we'll pivot. But our next one will be December 4th. Next slide. Good job. You're doing great. We can move on. It's fine. You'll notice that the QR code is in the corner because if it's too centered, then it'll be split with the screens and it won't work. But long story short, we have a book group that is meeting on Tuesdays at 7:30. Besides, Janet, are we meeting this week?
Not this week.
Not this week.
December 6th.
December 6th is the next one, so next week. Same with our Haven group, our LGBTQ plus small group. It's also for allies, and it's in person. So book group is online. Haven is in person, and that one's on Wednesdays at 7. And that's a fun group too. And you can reach out to me or our page or website, you name it, if you want directions and whatnot. And then we have an exciting small group coming up, and that's going to be our 20s and 30s daytime small group. And so that's what this QR code is for. And so if you want to sign up to fill out a little form to let us know what days are available throughout the week, what times work for you. We're going to be finalizing and deciding a time, not this week because it's Thanksgiving, the week after this week. And so then we'll announce when that small group will be. So feel free to put your input. And that's it. Next slide. Cool. Okay, so today is also, there's still more things going on today. So at 4 p.m., we are co-hosting with United in Homelessness, which is a subsect of United Way, if you've heard of Orange County United Way, a coffee talk on housing. So this is actually the last day of Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week, and that's just a national awareness week that we partake in. And one of the ways that we want to partake in as SHOC is to open a conversation with not just our faith community, but multiple faith communities or interfaith communities in our Orange County area. And so you are more than welcome to show up. Even if you didn't reserve a spot, I think there's plenty of spots, so you're more than welcome to join us. And that'll be at the bookstore down the street, our Vita Book Company. And that's just a fun spot, so, 10 out of 10 recommend. Next slide. All right, again, we have to put the QR codes in the corner so that you can actually get the link. But we have a fun Thanksgiving coming up, or Friendsgiving, Chosen Family Thanksgiving coming up on Wednesday of this week. And so if you're looking for a space, maybe you have Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving with some family or friends, and maybe some time this week, but you just really need a space where you can just be your full self. We are providing a space for that on Wednesday. I just bought the turkey at Trader Joe's, and it's thawing in the fridge. So it'll be ready, hopefully. It's my first time making a turkey, so we'll see what happens. Flag football. If anyone wants to be on my team, I've already told Gabe we should have a co-pastor team against another co-pastor team and then see what happens. And then that's my address. That's all. Okay, this is exciting. Nice one. Thank you. All right, then this is just our giving slide. I'm not going to spend too much time. I'll give you a minute if you want to look at the QR code. No? Okay, great. Let's go. Next one. Lunch. So if you want to join us for lunch, you can. It's a really fun group. We typically spend a good amount of time at lunch near the Edwards Theater, and if you're still trying to navigate where that actually is, right in front of Corner Bakery, over there in the marketplace is where we go. So there's like a fun seating area and whatnot. And so yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just end this with a benediction. So you're welcome to put your hands out. You're welcome to just sit there. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. All right. Friends, may God remind you of your voice. And may God teach you how to hold multiple voices. I'm making this up as I go. Sorry, friends. And may God bless your week and and have a good Thanksgiving. That's what I'm going to say. Thank you so much, friends. That's it. Y'all are great.